Hi there, spooky friends. So today we are going to talk about two different movies on today's review. Actually, a total of five, but there's two of the first one I'm going to talk about, and then there's three of the second one I'm going to talk about. The first one is The Houses That October Built. I found this movie a couple of years ago on Amazon Prime, and I fell in love with the movie. It is so good. And it's about five friends. They rent an RV, and they are after the best underground haunts for Halloween. And so they go to all these different haunted houses, and throughout the movie there's interviews with characters from those haunted houses, and they take you inside these haunted houses, and it's really good. Meanwhile, they find out that there is this extreme haunt that you could do called the Blue Skeleton. And so then they set out to find the Blue Skeleton. And along the way, they come up with clues that the Blue Skeleton keeps sending to them on where they can be found. So, also in the meanwhile, they keep coming across these different freaky characters that keep following them around from state to state. There's a creepy girl dressed like a doll, there's a creepy clown, they come into all kinds of mischief along the way, and then the end is so good, and the movie takes a turn at the end. So if you're kind of bored in the middle, because I can kind of see where in the middle it might be a little bit boring, if you're bored, just hang on, because the end is really, really good, and you are like nervous at the end and excited, and it's very suspenseful. So it is an excellent movie. I love it. So then, and this movie came out in 2014. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 60%. The acting is very good in this one. Very, very good. Of the five friends that are together, each one has their own distinct personality. And there's only one female out of the group, so you can imagine the stuff they put that poor girl through throughout the movie. But it's so good, and I highly recommend it. I think you can still find this on Amazon Prime, I do believe. And I'm going to give it a 4-star rating, only because there are parts of it that are somewhat slow, and I feel like they could have done more with it. And there's parts that are so stupid, I'm just like, really, that doesn't belong in this movie. It just feels out of place, like it was thrown in at the last minute because they needed more time. I don't know, but yeah, some of it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. So I would give it a 4-star. It is a cozy movie for me. But I still highly recommend it. And so then a few years later, in 2017, they put out Houses October Built Part 2. Rotten Tomatoes only gave this one 13%, and I'm going to agree with Rotten Tomatoes on this one. To me, there did not need to be a second one of this film. The direction that they went with in this one, I get. They wanted to tell an even bigger story than the first one, and so the second one takes place where the first one left off. And immediately when you start watching the second one, you realize what the first one was about, and you're just like, those buttheads, like, it makes you not like the characters all of a sudden. It makes you not like, I should say, the guys all of a sudden. The female, you really feel sorry for, and she makes a stupid move. Like, the guys come back and they're like, let's go out again. Let's do this again. Let's, just one more time. Just, for shits and giggles, let's go out and do it again. And she, is very hesitant at first, but then they manage to talk her into it. So she goes along. So here they are again, and they keep having different signs that the blue skeleton is still hanging around, and that the blue skeleton wants to see them again, and all this. And more towards the end of the movie takes a very unexpected turn. And when I saw the very end of this movie, I was in extreme shock. I will just say that. That's the only part of the movie that I liked, was the ending. That was it. The rest of the movie is total crap. The acting in this one is not near as good as the first one, and it's strange because it's all the same people. But the acting is horrible in the second one. And you can tell that they just threw, once again, parts of the movie in there don't really belong, but they threw it in just because they needed time filler. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, parts of it just don't fit, and it comes off as stupid and just really boring, and it just didn't need to be there. This one I would give only maybe a 1.5 star, and I'm only doing the half of the second one because I like the ending. I like where in the direction that they went with it. I just think they could have did some different things in between the beginning and the end of that movie. So that one, though, the second one I had a very hard time finding. And I think I ended up finding that one on Amazon Prime at some point, but I don't know if it's still there, the second one. I'm not sure. But yeah, I had a really hard time finding it. Like, it never came up in the categories for me. It never came up as recommended, even though I had watched the first one. So I ended up finding it by Alexa. She took me to it, and it was on Prime. So I don't know. Good luck trying to find it. That's all I can say on that one. But if you don't find it, you're not missing anything. Believe me. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for Houses October Built. So let's move on to Hell House LLC. Wow. This movie has 3 of them so far, and supposedly they're not going to make any more, supposedly. So the first one is called Hell House LLC, and it's available on Tubi. And I believe you can probably find these on Shudder, maybe too. Shudder has exclusives to the third one, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you can find the first one on Tubi. It came out in 2015, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 75%, which I would say is about right. So it's 5 years after 15 people were killed during a haunted house tour. A documentary crew comes in, and they want to turn it into a haunted attraction. And they're playing off the hype that it had got as being a previous haunted house. They thought, hey, this would be cool. Let's reopen it as a haunted attraction, but we'll give it our own spin on it. And people might want to come because of the deaths that happened so mysteriously 5 years previous. So they open the haunted house, and strange things begin to happen, though, before opening day even comes around. Paranormal type of strange happenings start to happen. And there is a creepy clown in this film that when I saw the film for the first time, I was like terrified when something happens in this film that involves him. In like the early stages of the movie. I mean, the paranormal stuff starts almost immediately in the film, and lasts throughout the movie. The middle to the end, however, picks up, and because it's kind of slow in the beginning, but then it picks up, and the ending is really, really good. And once again, they should have just stopped with the first one. They should have just stopped there. So they open up for the haunted attraction. Things go south. Bad things happen. That's all I'm going to say. So in 2018, they decided to come out with another one, part 2, called The Abaddon Hotel. This one is again available on AMC Plus or Tubi. Rotten Tomatoes did not even rate this one. Which this one, it's okay, but it's not, it just, to me, takes it a step too far. And then, because like the first one is kind of believable, like, you know, it could be played off as a supernatural paranormal event. But the second one is way out there. It is so far-fetched, so just not a bit realistic at all. It is boring. To me, it is slow, except like towards the end, and even then, it doesn't make any sense. It is just downright crap, and it is stupid. So this one is 8 years after the tragic events that happened in the first one. An investigator wants to go to the Abaddon Hotel where this happened, and she wants to bring in an investigative team and do more research in there and find some more answers, and bad things start happening once she gets inside of the hotel. Bad things happen. And then it takes a turn, and by the end of the movie, you're just like, oh my god, this is so stupid and doesn't make any sense, and why? Why did they take it this to this? Why? That's all I can say. So if you don't get to see the second one, you're not missing anything. The third one is called Lake of Fire. It came out in 2019. It is a Shudder exclusive. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 14%. I will agree on Rotten Tomatoes on this one. Back at the Abaddon again. It is to begin to open to the public again. There is one of the guys, Russell, who is in the other two as well. He has this interactive show called Insomnia. And he decides that how cool would it be to take his show and do the live stream inside the Abaddon Hotel. And so he does. Bad things happen. Imagine that. And it's just, once again, by the end of the movie, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is total crap. Because it is. It's crap. It is slow. Parts of it are eventful, but it just didn't need to happen, in my opinion. It just takes the story like too far. It's unimaginative, and it just shouldn't exist. I would give it just maybe 1 star. That's it. The same with the second one, 1 star. The first one, though, I would probably give it a 3 star. The first one is a cozy movie for me because I've seen it a lot, and I do like it. Oh, the first one has a ton of jump scares, by the way. A ton of jump scares. So if you like the movies that, you know, that have a lot of jump scares, you're gonna love the first one. And even though I've seen the movie a dozen of times, I still jump every time at the movie. So you're really gonna like it. So once again, definitely try to see the first one. If you don't get to see the second and the third one, just Google it, and that's all you need to do, really. You're not missing anything. So that's going to wrap it up. So the first movie, again, we talked about was Houses October Built. Definitely check that out on Amazon Prime. And then the second one is Hell House LLC. Definitely give those a try. They are, I mean, they're okay. But my favorites would be the first one of each of those films. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to get notified whenever I put out a new video. And please give me a thumbs up. It is greatly appreciated. So thank you for watching, and I hope all of you are having a spooktacular October. Tonight I am going to a Halloween party. I'm actually co-hosting the Halloween party. So it's going to be great. I'm super excited. I'm dressing up as Lily Munster, and my husband is going as Herman, of course. I will try to... Sorry, excuse me. Oh, it's so dry. I will try to post in my next video, like maybe some clips from the party, but there's going to be children there, and I am trying not to get any children in this channel whatsoever because I don't want that YouTube drama. All right, so that's going to end it for today. And remember, stay spooky, my friends.